Hi, I hope that 5 minutes was enough. 5 minutes of notice for this sneak attack, but I have to get started because I got tangs to do today. So you guys are all going to trickle in. You can just go back and be hashtag replay gang. But I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. All right, ready? Let's give it a minute. We're at 30 seconds. Drink some water. Beach Plum by La Croix. I like this flavor. Sparkling water, natural essence. In 15. I do recaps of relationship reality TV. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiancé. My name is Wah, and I do recaps of relationship reality TV shows such as 90 Day Fiancé, Love After Lockup, Married at First Sight, Seeking Sister Wives. So if you are at all interested in that content, please go on ahead and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to share on any social media platform that you deem fit. This is regular season of 90 Day Fiancé, season 9, episode 17, episode 17, to Have and To Scold. I won't complain this time about how upset I am, but I want you to know I'm upset. Okay. What are we going to get next week? Who knows? Who knows? All right. Let's start off with our first couple, and that is Emily and Kobe. You guys, for the first time, I actually got an idea that Emily isn't maybe the worst person ever. Like, we finally see behind the facade that this person might recognize that they're kind of awful. But sometimes they get themselves so deep in the awful that they are so embarrassed to apologize that they just fight their way back out instead of just like apologizing on the way out of the awful and just being like, I'm truly sorry, and like taking it in and learning from their ways. Like, this person just cannot help it. I think to a certain extent, they are selfish and narcissistic, and they are also super privileged because how someone can sit at a dinner table and hear their father tell them that they were gonna go into retirement in a year, but now can't because of the choices that they've made, and they just don't immediately bust out into tears and or aren't like super like sorry, just kind of sits there with an awkward smug look on their face. Like, not because I think the person doesn't feel that way, I just think that the person doesn't know what else to do. Like, doesn't like their reaction is not to cry and be very sorry for their actions. In fact, this person tries to, like, I don't know, get the audience to believe somehow like we are confused why the dad is upset. Like, in their confessionals, Emily is like, "Well, my parents are just, a little concerned. Like, I don't think they're upset. They just, feel the way they do because they're gonna have to pay for us longer and they're just trying to express." Like, no, Emily, we know what your parents are feeling. What we don't understand is what you're feeling. We don't understand how you're not able to be a good daughter. Like, and she says it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So it's the day of the wedding, and everyone, all the brides have a bride robe on, and so does Emily. And she is getting ready. And she's feeling awful because of the way that she ambushed Kobe. She says that Kobe is the best person that she's ever been with. And she feels bad that she ruined last night because of her own insecurities and being stressed out. So she wants to call him to ensure that everything is okay because she didn't sleep well last night. And she calls him and he answers and she's like, "You know what? I'm really sorry for whatever happened. I didn't mean to do that. I put my, problems onto you. So I guess I'm sorry." This woman can't even say I'm sorry. She says, "So I guess I'm sorry." why does it hurt you to say you're sorry? Do you truly not feel sorry? Or do you just like you want to be right? And in this instance, you know you're not right and it hurts you so much to not be right, but you don't know. You guys, I don't know because I don't actually know people like this in my real life. Like if I do, then I'm not friends with them. I don't understand. I can't, someone who I'm not friends with them. So there's that. There's that. Hello, everybody in the room. I didn't say hi to anyone. Hi, Yazelle, Ramsterdam, Lisa. Ramsterdam, I haven't seen you in a long time. I hope you're okay. Barba, Babs, Caitlin, Dedria, Jesse the Painter, Becky Muerta, Danielle, Gamma, Kim, Denise, Talinha. Hello, Japan. Arigatou gozaimasu. Pamela, Kim, ooh, Jade. I mean, a lot of people. Hey, guys. I mean, are 8:45 a.m. Lives the way to go? Y'all are in here. Okay, anyways. So that's Emily. And so I'm looking at Kobe, and I'm like, who's cutting this man's hair? Like who cuts these people? Is he going to a barber in Salinas? I know he's not. But then I realized that obviously he's doing it himself. And I just feel silly because I should learn to cut my hair because she's roaming around the earth just like crazy. I'm crazy with how I'm running around this earth with my natural hair. Like, don't ask me to do anything. I'm gonna put a hat on. Okay. I washed it last night. You know, it's clean. It's just unkempt. And I'm okay with that. So Emily and her mom are crying once she gets her dress on. And they, I guess, Emily just must have been this like Rolling Stone gonna do anything. Like maybe the idea of her actually getting married and settling down was never anything that popped into her mother's head. And so she's crying because I mean, there. I want to say that out of the brides that I saw on this season, I'm going to rate them how they looked on their wedding day. And I'm going to tell you right now that I'm just going to rate them. The first one I rate is Cara. I'm going to give Shaeeda next. I would honestly give Shaeeda first. Honestly. That turban was giving me all of my life. So I'm going to give Shaeeda first. She was the best looking bride. And then I'm going to give it to Cara. If I could give like Cara like not a 2 but like a 1.5, I would, you know. And then I'm going to give Thais next. And then what are these other brides? Who do we see? Oh, Miona. I'm going to give I really did like Miona's thing even though it was very Kim Kardashian-esque. And so I want to take points from that. And even though her like pony didn't match the color of her hair up here, I'm going to take points away from that. So I'm going to give Thais first. So it's going to be Shaeeda, Cara, Thais, Miona, and who else did we see get married? What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys thought. Put your list down below. And then I'm going to give Eve, blank, 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 Emily. So I don't know why they were crying, besides the fact that they never thought this woman would get here. Because, like, I mean, to me, marriage is not a life milestone. It's a celebration of a thing that could happen, but it isn't necessarily a goal for me. So when like I would cry at graduations, I would cry when babies are born. I would cry at a wedding if the bride was beautiful. If I thought the bride was just knockout gorgeous. So maybe that's what was happening. Okay. I would like to see your lists, please. So if everybody could just like go down and make your list, that'd be great for me. I want to see these lists. Stop writing other things and put your list. Okay, anyways. Just kidding. So Kobe is getting ready in with his friends, and of course we have to see Kobe in his chonies, which nobody asked for, but I guess we have to because he used to be an underwear model, so like whatever. So he comes out in these white tidy whites, and he He and his boys are like, wishing well and saying, "Oh, look at you! Look, you look great! Look, you're gonna look fashion, fashion," stuff like that. And then we have like a little cute scene with another friend of his, not Temperature, where the friend says, "We wish Kobe the best and we want them to have a prosperous marriage." And then we have Temperature, who's like, "We wish Kobe the best, except for to him to understand that he's the man." And I'm like, Temperature, we don't need this because you are speaking for an entire continent, and that's unfair. And if that is the truth, then we need some intersectionality and or feminism in Africa, because no, you don't get to just be the head because you're the man. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So we have a cute moment with Emily's dad and Kobe. And I thought Kobe was actually going to tell the dad in that moment that Emily was pregnant because he hated harboring the secret, but he ended up not doing it. And then the dad passes him something secret along. And at first I thought it was money. I said, is the dad paying Kobe off? Like, is he like, here is $20,000 in scrunched up big bills. Just take my daughter and leave. Just do it. Just leave because I can't with her anymore. Emily is like her dad, and Emily's sister is like the mom. So maybe that's why the dad kind of puts up with Emily's shenanigans, because he realizes that everything that Emily is him, that he created that he created this monster that's roaming around the earth, that he's having to pick up behind, that I'm sure that there's some animosity between Emily and her sister. I am sure. I'm trying to remove this person, but I can't block the user. It tells me that there's an error. So if somebody can do so, let me know. Who's here? Nobody here is my Ramsterdam. Aren't you a moderator? It won't let me do it. Okay. So it's a really cute moment between Kobe and Emily's dad. I think his name is David. Don't quote me on that. And they both cry. And it's quite sweet. And it makes me very happy for him, because all I wanted was for Kobe to feel comfortable, because in the beginning, the way the father was acting made me very suspicious, because I said, would he be behaving this way if this man were from Russia or Moldova? Or is he acting skeptical and weird because this man is from the continent? You know what I'm saying? I'm always looking out, especially in places like Salinas, Kansas. Alrighty, so after the wedding, doesn't it look like she's a little bit inebriated? Listen, I'm not judging, because listen, I think that you can have a glass of wine when you're pregnant. I read somewhere you can, but she looked a little like either she was just like party happy or she was a little inebriated when they had their little confessionals. And they were fighting about when to. He's like, yeah, let's tell your parents now, like literally after the wedding. And she's like, no, I don't want to ruin everything, being a brat, being annoying. And this man consistently says that he loves her, and I'm like, why, where, for what is it that we're just seeing the worst of her because we're seeing her at her worst? If somebody were to get on right now and say that we're seeing the worst of Emily because this is the hardest thing she's ever gone through, and we're watching a person go through a scenario where they're very uncomfortable, and the way that they manifest them being uncomfortable is to lash out at everyone around them, I would accept that. But then I would say, please go get therapy, because you're going to have many more uncomfortable times in your life, and your baby's a child right now, and this baby cannot see how you're behaving. But like, you don't want your children to see you behave this way, because I think, would want them to be better people, right? You'd want them to be better people, right? So like, don't exhibit this behavior around your children, because you are kind of a monster. You know what I'm saying? So it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate that I'm walking away like not wanting to ever see this person on my TV screen again, simply for the way that she treats the people around her. So the next scene we have with them is it's a few days after the wedding, and Kobe really wants to tell the parents, so he's going to tell them at the dinner table. And they go to sit down at the dinner table, and Emily doesn't even have the balls to look at her parents and say it. She makes him do it. So he says we're pregnant, and they're shocked and semi-happy. Sister's like, why are we hiding it? And he's like, and Emily's like, well, because that's the one thing they told us not to do. And the sister's like, Then the dad says, like, he's shocked, and he's like, they really shouldn't have done this. They didn't plan this well, and they don't want to say, like, you shouldn't be having this baby and blah blah blah, because obviously the baby's going to see this, right? It's on camera. But the dad says, I was thinking of retiring in a year, but that looks like it's not going to happen. And Kim Ember, whatever her name is, says nothing. Says nothing. And my heart is broken for that dad. I mean, the only thing I want for my parents is to have a peaceful retirement, is to not overspend and take care of themselves and be happy and healthy in their retirement. And listen, my parents have been retired, I want to say, for at least 5 years now, and they are doing well. They're doing well, but they have to budget, and it's harder for them because you haven't budgeted, in a while or ever, because they've always had jobs and stuff like that. So like they have to like budget this finite amount of money. There's no more overtime, and it just breaks my heart that her father has a whole business. And retiring when you have a whole business is different as well, because when you have a business, you either have to sell it, or you would have had to stow away money, in order to truly do that, because you are usually paying other people, and if your business it takes a loss, or profits, like there's a bunch of stuff I don't know about, but I do know that people who own their own businesses have to save their own money. No company is going to save it for them. They don't necessarily have a 401k and a pension. So to me, that seems harder if someone isn't saving your money for you. And so for this man to say that he wanted to take his wife on trips, and they wanted to just have a good retirement, and they wanted Kobe and Emily to be on their own and established, and then just have them not be, because they got pregnant again, because she couldn't, she told him not to wear a condom, and then she couldn't get on birth control and or manage. I mean, I know why she didn't get on birth control, because she would have probably she probably would not have been able to continue breastfeeding. Sometimes that happens. But like, other people have to pay for you, and you don't care anything, and you literally, just like the sister says, takes advantage of your parents. And I just can't talk about this anymore because I don't have anything else to say. I just keep saying the same thing over again. She's awful. Okay, moving on to our next couple. That is these two fools. So, Billel and Shaeeda. Both of them are getting ready for the wedding, and Nefertari is transforming that living room. Girl, I did not even recognize it. She did an absolutely great job of transforming that already performative living room. You know what I'm saying? And he's ironing his clothes. She's getting her makeup done. Her sisters are there. Her sisters are supporting her in this, but also like kind of scared for her to get married to Billel. And then we have a scene where they show Billel lotioning his feet. And I think that this is a culture difference. I don't know who the camera person is or who the editor is, and I don't know why they chose to zoom in on that. But like, that is the one positive thing I've seen about Billel this entire season, is as a Black person, to know that Billel lotions his feet gives me pride. Black people lotion in general. I'm not saying every single Black person, because we're not a monolith, but we are taught by our parents that being in the street ashy is unacceptable. And let me tell you, everybody gets ashy, but not everybody's skin shows the ash. And ash is just dry skin, and you need to moisturize your skin. So as a Black person, once you exit the shower or out of the bath, you are taught from a very young age to lotion yourself from top to bottom. And so I was like, yes, Black man, lotion in between those toes, because we like a well moisturized man. And so then that made me go, okay, at least he lotions. At least he's not roaming around the earth ashy. And also, who does his hair? Himself. He also does his son's hair. Consequently, his son also fell asleep during the ceremony. And I thought that was a really good choice for the cameraman to choose and the editor to choose as well. I don't understand. I just feel like they showed that because like they thought maybe it was something interesting or different. But to every Black person who saw that, we were like, yay, lotion your feet. But also like, why are you showing that? That's not weird for us. So why did you show it? You've never showed anybody else lotioning their feet. Now, they didn't show Kobe lotioning his feet. They did show him, though, putting his foot into a shoe, and his foot was lotioned. So I'm just very confused about it. I'm very confused about it. Has no one ever lotioned their feet in front of a cameraman before? It was interesting. So she gets into her wedding dress and she's like, I mean, just beautiful. The daughter says some words prior to, and let me tell you about their officiant. Their officiant I mean, this man was saying all the things, some of them wrong, some of the words used incorrectly or not the correct, version of the word, but also like just, I mean, going off the rails and saying whatever. It was a weird black Muslim. It was like very black Muslim. You know what I'm saying? It was like very black and also Muslim ceremony. And they said, I do. And I don't know, whatever, girl. Then they had their like honeymoon suite downstairs. I don't know, girl. Whatever, they got married. So I hope they're happy and fine. Great. Moving on. The next couple that we are going to talk about is Jabri and Miona. I took few notes for this, but I will say that it was beautiful. I thought her bouquet was beautiful. I don't have the wherewithal to even think of something like that, but I thought that was very pretty. I thought she looked nice. I thought that the outfit had a lot of textures in it that I didn't necessarily love. But it was giving like a super shapely situation. It's like part of me, when she was like getting everything prepared in the morning in her PJs and she got up and started walking away, I thought to myself, does Miona have a BBL? I mean, and if she does, it's a really good one because it looks natural, but also unnatural for her frame. Now, I'm not saying that I haven't seen like non-Black women with that curvy body. I have. Just not Europeans. And so maybe whatever her heritage is, because she likes to throw that up and say her peoples did braids and like bangles long before anybody. But like, I mean, it's just like it is oddly very in vogue. When you have that naturally, I'll believe it on some people, but I won't believe it on others. And I'm not quite believing it on Miona. And I'm not saying that it is fake. I am asking because I don't know. And I think that it might be because it was like, I said, oh, she got jiggle. Okay. And then the wedding dress was like hugging the curves in every way too, very Kim Kardashian-esque. And so I was like, okay. I didn't like the ribbed. It wasn't ribbed. It was like the texture on the bottom was like the texture of the sleeves, except for ribbed. Yeah. Or like pleated or something. And I'm happy for her that she was able to get a Russian designer and she was able to get what she wanted. I thought she looked great. Her makeup to me always looks great. And I thought that the sunset, everything, the grandmother being there, I just thought the whole vibe was dope. Now, the drama is that they were waiting for a gentleman named Igor, and Igor was late. And Igor was doing a big thing for them because he was down in LA and he picked up this arch, which to me, it wasn't really an arch. To me, it was a two parts of a triangle. To me, an arc is like either like a rainbow shape or it's like up, square, down. And it wasn't neither of that. It was this. But anyways, Igor is late. And I was wondering why Miona wasn't as upset. She was filling the time getting pictures taken. But I thought, just knowing Miona, that she would be more upset. And then we realized that Igor is a beloved friend of hers. Also, Igor learned American Sign Language, Serbian Sign Language, Serbian, and English. And so they're just really grateful that this person like did this big thing for them. Here's the truth. I am ungrateful. I'm ungrateful. And we know this. I've talked about it over and over again. I don't care if you're doing me a favor. If you volunteered to do something or you said yes to do something, then do it and do it right. Now, I'm not saying that they should feel that way about Igor. If they didn't feel that way, all the best for them, because that takes the stress and the strain from the day. Truthfully. because I build up a lot of stress and strain because I'm disappointed in the way I feel people are treating me. Instead of me just letting it go and not taking it personally and like being a better person and going, you know what, if the person could do better, they would. I don't have that thought in my mind. I'm like, you're ruining things for me and you don't care. Like, if you cared, you would have gotten up early enough to make sure it was done. Like, I'm like, y'all, I can tell you right now, I take being late personally. I don't know why. Because I truly just feel like all you have to do is just get up and prepare. But people love to do things by the minute. Like they go, oh, okay, I have to be at work at 9. My work is 30 minutes away. So I'm going to leave at 8:31. And to me, you should leave at 8:15. You should leave at 8:15. If somebody is expecting you to be somewhere on time, you should leave 15 to 30 minutes early. Period. What is that extra 30 minutes of sleep? It's just so weird to me when people are like, "Oh, I just needed an extra 30 minutes of sleep." That isn't I don't need an extra. If I need extra time to sleep, I need a full hour and a half. I just need that. And yes, when I wake up, I like a 30-minute grace period to like truly wake up, to look at my phone, to like bring myself back, bring myself awake. So what I do is I set my alarm for 30 minutes before I'm supposed to get out of the bed so that I can have that 30 minutes. Like I'm very much like it all makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense to wait to the last minute to do anything because something inevitably will go wrong. Now, I'm not saying this is Igor. I'm not talking about Igor and Miona anymore. I'm talking about myself as a human being. So because that's the way I think, and I think it's the right way to think, I have a hard time when people are late to do stuff with me or like late when it comes to me. You could be late when it comes to yourself. I don't care. But if I'm waiting for you and you know it takes you an hour to get somewhere, please leave an hour and a half early. The trip from where I live to Los Angeles is an hour if no one is in my way. The moment anyone gets in my way, the moment there's a fender bender, the moment anything, it's all of a sudden an hour and a half. So what do? So if I have to be in LA at 11, I don't leave at 10, I leave at 9:30, girl. Like that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. I would rather be early and wait than not be there on time. Because you know what not being there on time does for me? It makes me rush and it makes me anxious. And then I'm like stressed. And I don't want to be stressed. So I give myself time. Anyways, there's that. There's that. Early is on time. Late is late and unacceptable, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, I just can't. I can't. And there are people who just roam around this earth who are like, oh, it only takes 45 minutes to get there. So I'll leave 30 minutes. I'll leave so that it gives me 30 minutes. Or I don't know time. We have phones. We have phones that make noises at us. All you need to do is set timers. That's what I do. Set a timer, set a reminder. It reminds me. Reminds me to do what I got to do. And then like like yeah, if you were 20, I understand you doing that, but at 40 to still be that way, like what? And if you got kids, what? How do you get your kids to school on time? Are your kids tardy every day? Dang, you messing up their attendance record. You know they give prizes for attendance? You know what's so dumb to me is that they give prizes for attendance in school when it's literally not up to that kid. Like, how is it that you give a kid perfect attendance? That child does not drive. If they are late to school every day, it's because their parents ain't shit. Like, that's what it is. That's what it is. So don't grade them on attendance. That's not on them. They didn't do that. This their parents. Anyways, there's that. I went on a whole rant. Let's get back to the moment at hand. Finally, the arc gets there. Igor's great. I think that the sign of his name is this because of his hair, which is so cute. So he gets there and he they put the arc together or the triangle together and they put a piece of flower, they put like a bouquet of flower on it, and it's the thing that makes it so perfect for Miona, but listen, whatever works. And the grandmother has been trying to get them to just do this wedding because she's worried about losing the light. And I thought to myself, Grandma, what stake do you have in this? Just go ahead and sit down. If these two want to stand up, stressed out about this thing, don't worry about the light. She's like, you're going to lose the light. Who cares? Y'all could get married in the dark inside here. Like, it's fine. So don't stress yourself out. Grammy, sit down. Sit down. It's not your stress. Beautiful pictures are taken, and then he writes this country song for her. And listen, I wanted to like the song. I just wanted to like the vocals a little more. It's just they were strained vocals. And she thought it was the perfect and most wonderful thing ever. And I know Miona got a bad rap on this show. And at the end of it, I think that I like her. You know, I wasn't on her side. I thought that she was a little bit too demanding, but it was good TV and it was good makeup. It was good TV and it was good makeup. Chris always said this is how she wanted her wedding and this is the way she always envisioned it. So why can't she just have her wedding that way? And it's just because I don't think of weddings like that. Like, to me, yes, there are events that happen. And I know some people, you know, mark it in their calendars of the, you know, the time in the year and the age they're going to be when they get married. And people, it's such a momentous thing. But like, to me, a marriage is not a love thing. A marriage is like a union of monies, and it becomes a hard uphill battle from there. I don't think of it as a forever thing. Like, it holds no sacred bond to me. It doesn't hold any of that for me. Like, maybe to the people it's happening to, but like, I don't, if it's not my wedding and my marriage, like, it doesn't symbolize like anything for me. It just symbolizes people who want to like legally be bonded. But that's because I'm a bitter Betty. So, you know, it might have made a difference to me if I had been somebody who was in a relationship in my 20s and or like on the road to marriage younger. But now that I'm just like a old bitter Betty, to me, I'm just like, nah. I saw a TikTok yesterday that was like, let me find it. You're not gonna be able to see it, but I'll just read it to you. And I think it fit me so well because I was like, oh, I agree with this. What does she say? Oh, I didn't save it. It's so annoying. You guys, if you like something on TikTok, just bloody save it. Because this is what always happens to me. I think I saved this shit and then I didn't save it. Anyways, basically the TikTok was a lady sitting at the beach being like, getting to the point where a family and marriage or love or whatever is no longer important. And like, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm there. It's like not important to me. Like, okay, it didn't happen. Moving on to my moo-moos and my trips, my solo trips by myself. And career goals. Okay. Who was I talking about? They get married, Miona and them. They get married and it's sweet and it's cute and I'm happy for them. And then they get into an old-fashioned car and drive around and Miona's having the time of her life. And so I'm happy for these young people who are happy and in love. Alrighty. And the last couple is Patrick and Thais. I honestly didn't take any notes. Thais is super selfish for wanting to kick Patrick out. I mean, not Patrick, John. Like, I don't like it. She's selfish for that. That's rude. It's annoying. It's stupid. She ends up getting married to Patrick. Her father ends up kind of saying, you know, do what you got to do. I guess get married. You're an adult, but I don't want this. And then, I mean, the best part of it is John, really. Oh, you know what was great? The officiant. So Patrick's friends are like nouveau riche trash. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Anybody who comes to a wedding in a Gucci tracksuit, with all honesty, and thinks like, oh my God, I'm gonna be on TV. Like, sir, we are all making fun of you in your Gucci tracksuit. At a wedding? This man looks like he was like a part of a crime syndicate. And like his like number one was in the audience. Like, there were two Gucci suits, one in the audience and one officiating the wedding. And I'm like, Patrick, what do you actually do for money? Do you work in security? I mean, is it cybersecurity or is it like security for the mob? And then the guy, did he just like completely memorize the entire, like, did he memorize the vowels? He's like, you, Patrick, you take Thais to be your lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold through sickness and, I mean, I guess I know it too because we all hear it, through sickness and in health. And you, Thais, do you take Pat here? Huh? Do you take Pat? Like, it was like, dude had on sunglasses. I mean, it was the most Guido of like Guido. Like, I'm sorry, are you guys running heroin? What is happening? Is this a cover? Are you guys laundering money through this wedding? It was so bizarre. It was so weird. And then Patrick's sister still had a black eye. I mean, I know it hasn't been that many days, but damn, could she put some makeup on? I'm sick of her. Can't she just put a little concealer on? All she needed to get was a little bit of like orange concealer because that's what you do when you have like blue. She just need to get some orange and then she's a little red. So get her some green, like color corrector, not concealer, color corrector, right? Put it in all the appropriate places. Put the green here, put the, put the orange here, and then just like put on some. It is this family is so bananas to me. It is bananas. And then at the end, there's the dance that Patrick has learned for her because it's like a Brazilian thing. Then we have John, who's critical of him learning the dance. I just get so annoyed with Americans who like belittle other people's culture. Like if he says like, "Oh, this is what they do in Thais," what the hell are you doing, Pat? What are you doing? Dancing. I mean, what are they? Irish? I don't know what the main group of folk are. Like they could be European, but like I think it's so weird sometimes when like Americans act like dancing is not a part of American culture too. Like every culture dances. Now whether how they dance are two different things. But like Italians get down, the Irish get down. There's a whole Irish jig. Like they get down. So I don't understand why sometimes Americans act like dancing at weddings or having dances, even if they're not what they're used to, is so weird. Come on, act like you have some class. Act like you have some culture. It's crazy. Whew. All right, you guys, I think that's it. Did I talk about everybody? I feel like I did. They didn't give us any previews. Like, who knows if there's going to be a tell all, but what we do know is I think next week is the new season, right? Let me look. What's next week? This is the 18th. Yeah. Next week is the new season of HEH. Honestly, you guys, put HEH like right cap like here. Do this in the comment section if you guys are going to watch it. HEA. If you're going to watch it. I really need to take a poll cuz I don't want to watch it. And every time I choose not to watch it, I always regret. Renee, Sabine, Jennifer, no, say you're not gonna watch it. Fine, fine. Oh, HEA is on the 28th. Oh, it's Abby. No, it's not Abby. It's Libby and Andre. Here, I think I have pictures of who's in it. Who is it? Do I have pictures of who's in it? I deleted it. Good. I don't. It's Libby and Andre, and it's Angela and Michael. Like, but what? They're broken up, so who knows? It's Angela and Michael, Angie baby. And then it's Big Ed and Liz, which they aren't 90 Day Fiancé at all. And I don't want to watch them. So I'm not, so even if I do watch it, I'm not going to report on Angela and Ed because they're like menaces to the franchise. And then there is Jovi and Yada, which I believe that their segment or their theme this season is going to be I gotta go. Their theme this season is gonna be that Yara is like doing big things and better things, and should she just leave Jovi and go about her business like that? And then that's all I can remember. All right, you guys, she gotta go. She's gonna be late. She just talked about it. Well, nobody's waiting for me. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Y'all have a fantastic evening or day. Woo, it's early. Y'all have a fantastic day. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. All right, you guys, check out DocuSweeties, please. We are dropping some episodes of Love After Lockup and Love in Paradise this week, so stay tuned for that. You can find You can find DocuSweeties on any social media. Yes, all the social medias. Also, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/DocuSweeties for $10 a month. You get exclusive content, as well as we are on all the podcasts. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music, we're on Google Play, we're on everything. So if you listen to podcasts, or even if you don't, just go and find us and check us out and show your girls some love. Show your girls some love, okay? We appreciate it. All right, bye.